Hey there everybody, Matt Carter here.
And Jessica Carter from CARTERMATT.com.
This video is a new discussion. It's about NCIS, but this is not the same sort of NCIS discussion that we are used to. Instead, we're going to look a little bit more towards the long-term future because CBS, they are really treating these upcoming episodes like Fort Knox at the moment. They're not announcing any more details. They haven't shown a promo. I mean, ironically, maybe they'll do this an hour from recording this, but as of right now, there's not a lot of info about the immediate future, so we're going to go long-term here instead.
Yeah, we're going to talk now about whether or not NCIS is going to be renewed, in our opinion.
Yeah.
And in our opinion, there's nothing to worry about. Nobody needs to sweat this. We feel that the show will be coming back.
Yeah, and beyond that, we'll talk about the ratings. We'll talk about cast members, if you should be worried about any of them, and how long NCIS could feasibly even go. But before we dive into any of it, if you do like this video, give us a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any other updates. Let's just start with this first and foremost, though. NCIS, if it's ever ending, I can't imagine them being in February. Oh, by the way, guys, we're ending the show in under 3 months.
Yeah, with this show being on for as many years as it's been on, it feels like NCIS is not going to be a show that's just going to be canceled. They are going to give this show, in my opinion, a proper ending. Like they just did with Criminal Minds after 15 seasons. They didn't just be like, oh, it's canceled, no proper ending, nothing.
Yeah.
Once a show's been on for over a decade and we're now we're getting closer and closer to 2 decades worth of show, I just can't see it being like, oh, and it's canceled.
No, they're not gonna do that. I mean, Criminal Minds isn't even it's a significant show, don't get me wrong. It is very important to CBS's history, but
15 seasons is a lot.
NCIS may be their most important show of the past several decades. It's probably either it or The Big Bang Theory, and The Big Bang Theory got a full final season sort of rollout and promotion, and we're not there yet with NCIS. It's true, I mean, everyone who likes to talk about how the show could be canceled at any given moment, they do always talk about, oh, the ratings are going downhill, everything's falling. The ratings, they are going down, and they've been going down for years, but it's not like NCIS is the only show where the ratings are going down. They're going down for almost everything. People just don't watch as much live TV as they used to.
Yeah, and also just in general, it's not that normal that as shows go on, the ratings go up. There's just viewer erosion over the years. It is not abnormal for this to be happening. This is still a very watched show on CBS. This show still makes a ton of money for them. There's no reason to worry.
No, there's no reason to be concerned right now. It's just, if the show was losing, like, let's say half of its viewership from one season to the next, maybe you press the panic button then, but for now, there's no reason to do that. Now, I think the next question is, of course, when will NCIS then announce that they are getting another season? Because, I think it's just like next 4 or 5 week period is when everyone kind of tends to be the most paranoid about all this sort of stuff. Typically, though, they'll announce this maybe around the second week of April, and then we don't have to sweat May sweeps with it. We can just sit back, relax, and not worry too much about the future.
Yeah, usually in May is when we get more of the cancellation type news, but before that, we should hear that this is going to be renewed. They're not going to leave this until May and then have everybody sweating it out that much. I get why everybody gets nervous. It is a beloved show that's been on the air for a really long time, and some contracts may be up and people are negotiating and stuff like that, so I get why people are nervous.
Talking about contracts, it's an important thing for us to get into, but we should say from the start here, contract talk is very tricky because it's one of these sort of things that I feel like a lot of us on the outside, we feel like we have information on it, but in reality sometimes we don't have as much information as we like to think, because just because someone says, oh, so-and-so's contract is up at the end of this season, that doesn't mean that they're not in negotiations already, and also that doesn't mean that they're leaving. We have had to deal with a lot of people who've sort of been like, oh, Maria Bello's leaving at the end of this season.
I have seen so many people saying that she's leaving at the end of the season. I've even seen people writing about the fact that she is probably leaving at the end of the season, and There is no evidence
Yeah.
at all that she is leaving at the end of the season. Her and Mark are friends outside the show.
Yeah.
She has posted all the time on Instagram about how much she loves being on the show. All kinds of cool stuff about the show. I just don't see why she would leave a show that she loves. She's having fun on. She's got one of her good friends on. Why wouldn't she want to come back?
I don't have any idea why she wouldn't want to come back. And it feels... I mean, is it possible that theoretically she could be gone? Sure. But at the same time, you could say that about any actor on the show, and it doesn't matter whether their contract is expiring or not. And I think that's something that gets kind of lost when people bring up, oh, this person's contract is up, because, Patrick Dempsey left Grey's Anatomy before his contract was up. Justin Chambers has just left Grey's Anatomy before his contract was up.
Yeah, I think it's all sort of just whatever the situation is. And right now, they're building a huge story around Sloane with her daughter, with Gibbs, with work, with everything. Like, I just wouldn't understand what she would leave for, especially, like I said, somewhere that she's having a fun time. And you can see the fun she's having.
And I think the thing that CBS seems to be the most dependent on with their renewals is making sure that Mark Harmon is on board, and whether that is signing him to a new deal or just getting him more commitment, it seems to be every year at this point, they're at least checking in with him. I mean, even if he does have another year in his contract here or there, I still feel like they're checking in with him and being like, you still good to go, Mark? And then once they get all that taken care of, they sort of renew the show. And then they go from there, making sure every other cast member is on board.
Yeah, and I mean, Mark said this a while ago, but he has said that he really enjoys the show, and as long as the stories are good and the material is good, that he's happy to basically do this until the end of time. And let's be honest, the past couple seasons have been very good material for Mark. Yeah. I mean, Gibbs has been going through an incredible amount of change and things that are sort of a lot of the foundation of who he is has been kind of getting shooken up here. He's burned a rule. He seems to be considering a relationship in the office, which is not something that he's really about. There's just he's been facing stuff from his past. Like, there just feels like there's a lot there for him. There's a lot of meat on this bone for Gibbs right now. So if that really is sort of the barometer of what Mark is wanting with this show for him to continue, he's getting it.
And I think we're still getting it too. I mean, I don't think necessarily every episode of season 17 has been amazing, but there's been a lot of really good ones.
Yep.
We've had a lot of good performances from people. I think there's a pretty legitimate reason to keep it going. Everything, I'm sure, with the actors will get itself sorted out. Every now and then we do have an angry Code de Pablo is leaving, I want to just smash a window moment. But, for the most part, things tend to get worked out with this show. But let's talk for a moment about the long-term future, because SVU is currently in season 21. And SVU currently has the title of the longest-running primetime drama series ever in terms of seasons. I don't know if NCIS is going to break that record, because we don't know how long SVU is going to go. I mean, for starters.
Yeah, SVU in season 21, that's pretty metal. I love that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I could see them not necessarily being like, oh, we need to beat SVU. I mean, I think SVU is going to continue on for a while longer. But I can see them, if they're going into season 18, why not at least get to 20 and be like, okay, if we're going to end it, let's end it on a nice round number.
I think it would be kind of fun, and I don't know, I don't have any information if they're going to do this, but if they do decide to end it at 20, it'd be kind of nice just to get like a nice big juicy 3-season renewal now, and then they could sort of say, okay, 20 is going to be the last one, and then they'll have a lot of time to sort of build up to it.
I think the problem is you don't really know what the ratings are going to be. What if they're, I mean, this isn't normal, but let's just say that some magic happens and it starts going on a big upswing, then they're going to be like, we really shouldn't have decided to end this.
It's true. And the other thing is that I feel like for a lot of the long-running shows right now, CBS is sort of taking things a little bit more year to year. I remember with Tom Selleck on Blue Bloods, he wanted to sign more than a one-year deal this past year, but he basically said that that's what he was offered. And so it feels like maybe they are going to just take it 1 year at a time. But if you're even remotely worried about NCIS, we're here to tell you, don't be. It's all going to be good. We have more story coming. Hopefully we'll have more details to share fairly soon.
Yeah.
But for now, how long do you guys want to see NCIS still on the air?
You want to see season 20?
21, 22? I don't know. Just
Beat
share.
SBU?
Share in the comments all of your desires for it. And if you do like this video, give us a like, subscribe, and you can support us further by checking the link in the description to the CARTERMATT store. And we'll see you here next time.